is Talkin Cowboys. Streaming live from the Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star in Frisco.
First down. Handoff. Elliott plowing to the goal line. Barry, sacked by Lord. Prescott keeps it, and he bangs it in for the touchdown.
Here are Mickey Spagnola, Rob Phillips, and Bill Jones.
And Everson Walls on Talking Cowboys on a Friday here at the Star in Frisco as we get you set for Cowboys and Patriots, a 3:25 kickoff Texas time on Sunday. And we've got so much to get to as news is broken over the last 24 hours that affects what happens on Sunday. Jason Garrett's just completed his press conference. The team is out on the practice field. The special teams guys are out on the practice field. The rest of the team is inside on the practice field at Ford Center, as is their custom, as it's gotten a bit chilly and brisk out there. And so it's a good test for Brett Maher, as well as LP Ladisar and Chris Jones out on the outdoor field here, because the elements on Sunday will not be ideal. Have you seen the weather forecast, Mickey?
I think they're going to be worse than ideal,
yes,
as a matter of fact. Sunday, high of 44, a low of 30. And so since the game starts at 4:25 Eastern time, that's nighttime.
We're getting the worst of it.
That far east, that's nighttime.
By second half, it's going to be ugly.
Winds 10 to 20 miles an hour. And the report is on Sunday the amount of rain that starts at 100% in the day and 70% at night could reach an inch.
Oh, wow.
Oh, boy.
Okay, so you said
the
it's going to
be
40,
wet and cold.
44 degrees with a wind of
That's
10
the
to 50.
high.
Okay.
And I guarantee you when the sun goes down, it's closer to 30.
Okay, well, right now here in Frisco, Texas, it's 45 degrees, and there's more wind out there than what they're going to face on Sunday. So it's perfect for them.
Perfect for those special
practicing
teams
out
guys.
there right now.
So the term, that was a subjective term?
Subjective.
Yeah,
What's
meaning you said that they were ideal.
I said
less than
it was less.
So
far
but the
less.
Patriots might like these
That's
conditions.
right.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
They might, yeah.
Relative term, I guess.
And someone said that normally when it's bad weather and they're playing at home, they practice outdoors. Get used to it.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
We're comparing Dallas right now to New England.
That's exactly right.
So they are going to need Zeke Elliott after all in this game, right?
Yeah,
you know,
I love that.
So he can play?
the narrative that they're a passing offense only now, I think you might need your star running back in this game.
Yeah, and you might need more than 44 yards in this game rushing.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
We'll tell Jason not to, to go ahead and put him on the roster this week.
Okay, yeah, make him active.
Get him on the
Yeah.
46. Because all I know is when Baltimore beat the Patriots, Mark Ingram ran for 115 yards. Lamar Jackson ran for 61 yards and 2 touchdowns. They ran for the 3 touchdowns of the 4 I think they've given up rushing. And then they added another 27 and 7. So to me, that's like around 200 yards rushing.
Yeah, but that comes from Lamar Jackson.
61.
alone.
Yeah.
No. Just the fact that he
that's
has
right.
a 61,
Yeah.
that opens it up for Ingram.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's how that went. I saw that game. I thought Belichick got completely outcoached.
No, that doesn't happen.
Completely.
He was saving it for the postseason.
Everyone was
matchup.
shocked, defensively especially. You could just see the Patriots. They were like, what just happened? There's Comet's going through here wearing number 8 on his jersey. And now Ingram is,
Yeah.
He's
kind of a
enjoying
plugger,
himself.
right?
Yeah, he is. Well, he's a little quick. He's quick. He's
Okay.
quick, yeah.
All right.
He and when he puts that Ravens jersey on, he actually looks slower.
Did he do it with the Saints?
Yeah,
A little bit?
Yeah, I don't know. The color, the culture, what is it? I mean,
Yeah.
you think Ravens, you think
Outdoors instead of
plotting,
indoors.
Outdoors, you think,
Must have had
cold weather.
black cleats on.
Yeah,
That'll do it.
He looked like, I don't know, Benny Malone or somebody coming through there.
So it was 210 yards by the Ravens rushing in that
Thank
game.
you.
Lamar Jackson actually had more carries than Mark Ingram in that game, 16 to 15. You're right. I mean, they just kept pounding away with Jackson, and they didn't really have an answer for it. Now, they made some plays offensively themselves, New England, but that's Dak has not been that guy. They haven't used Dak in that way. He's been more of a pocket passer, and they kind of selectively use him, but that was something that worked against New England.
Well, you can't say that he can't be used that way.
Oh, he
because
can't.
He can't be that person. You can't be Lamar. You can't use Dak like that. That's just not what his game is. Now he can run, but I don't think you want to have a heavy dose of him. I think we're going to see a lot of it to see if the Patriots have learned the lesson. I mean, every coach does that. Whatever happens to you the previous week, if it was your Achilles heel, then the ensuing game, the coach is going to see if you've learned your lesson. So we're going to test him and see if they've learned their lesson and see if they can stop
That's a good point.
Quarterback.
That's a good point because the screen game is something that worked against Dallas, against Minnesota, and you can bet it's part of the Patriots offense anyway. But I'm fairly confident you can see that. Yeah,
heavy dosage.
That's what they do, and see if the Cowboys can stop it.
Jerry talking about holding that Jell-O in your hand. When you kind of get it balanced one way and then it flops the other way. That's what happens in this game. You worry about one thing.
What are you and Jerry talking? What are you and Jerry?
One of Jerry's
got Jell-O in his hand?
long-time analogies on how it's hard to take care of problems.
Is this like the apple pie on the movie? I mean, what's he doing with the Jell-O?
Actually, my better analogy than his is it's like playing whack-a-mole. Once you knock down one mole, the other mole comes up, right?
Okay.
Something always sprouts up.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, the Patriots have the number one defense, but when you look at their rush defense, they are 10th in the league in rush defense, but they have blown out so many opponents this year that you would think most of those opponents weren't rushing the football a whole lot, especially in the second half of those games. So you look at their yards per attempt, and they've given up 4.6 yards per attempt on the season.
So could be against the so-called prevent defense, maybe, or
there's some of that
just
too.
more of a protecting the lead.
Yeah,
you're
type
right.
Of defense.
Well, this doesn't make sense because Buffalo ran for 135 yards. So they must have had a big run because they averaged 6.1 an attempt. Washington, and I don't understand this one, they ran for 145 yards. And Cleveland, 159 yards. So I don't know if that was the quarterback.
But none of those teams were ever in the game, were they?
Yeah, why would they have been running? You have been throwing to catch up. It doesn't make sense. And then Baltimore, 210. 22 attempts.
Well, Mick, you said it a couple days ago. The fact that they are so unique with their front seven and they don't use a lot of down defensive linemen play to play, maybe that makes them a little susceptible in the run game. But they're still pretty sound defensively overall.
Oh, yeah.
And I know that I think the Eagles got up 10-0 in that game and then gained about 22 yards on the next few drives. They have a way of buckling down on you.
Here's the ridiculous part about it. They lead the league. They've only given up 13 touchdowns, but only 9 on defense. They've had 4 returns for touchdowns against them.
Interesting.
9 touchdowns
so we found
in 10
their
games.
Achilles heel.
Yeah, you got to return.
We got to go find somebody to
pick up,
return kicks.
scoop, and score.
Yeah.
No, these were all scoop and scores.
Interesting.
1 interception, 3 fumbles. I think Baltimore recovered a fumble in the end zone. So, yeah, think about that. 9 touchdowns on defense in 10 games. Who's ever heard of that?
85 Bears. 2000
Ravens. The Saints in their Super Bowl year had a lot of returns. I seem to recall. All right, we're just getting started here on Talking Cowboys. We can get to the elephant in the room when we come back in just a moment.
What a tease.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
Talking Cowboys continues inside the SWBC Mortgage Studios here at the Star in Frisco. Bill Jones, Mickey Spagnola, Rob Phillips, and we've been joined this week by Everson Walls as well. We could talk about the Cowboys and the Patriots, and now what is that elephant in the room? That would be the linebacker, Leighton Vander Esch. Jason Garrett had his press conference that concluded just a few minutes ago this morning to get the official update on Leighton. And, Rob, were you doing a story on that?
Yes, should be on the website. Not going to play this week. Not sure exactly when he's going to be back. I think Jason Garrett said hopefully fairly soon. He made a point of saying it's not a career-threatening injury. It's not even a season-threatening injury. But the question is when he'll be able to get back. Cowboys have a lot of games coming up in a short amount of time, and they just need that neck to calm down, Mickey. And it's something that probably is related to what he had a couple weeks ago where he missed part of the Eagles game before the bye, and then even after the bye, he didn't play against New York.
And you're looking at 2 games in 5 days with Buffalo coming here next Thursday, 3 games in 12 days with a trip to Chicago the following Thursday. And Mickey is, if you're not watching on Texas 21, well, you can't see it anyway because we're seeing Leighton Vander Esch. Mickey just motioned the out call for all 3 games, Mickey is calling it.
I would imagine so. And by the way, it's the wolf in the room, not the elephant.
Yeah, there you go.
That's good.
Oh, wow. Cool.
How about that?
Nice, nice. They told me you said clever stuff every once in a while.
But once a week, or maybe once a month.
It's my time of the month. Huh?
There it is. He took care of. He just took care of.
You want me to keep going? You want me to keep going?
Care of. You're good for the year.
So, I mean, yeah, think about it. You're going to play a game in 4 days after Sunday, and he's not going to play that game. And then you don't get a long break, so it's only a week more. So I would think conservatively he's going to miss 3 games. Rob's right. It's not career-threatening. They're hopeful that he could get back at some point this year, but it may take a while. They've got to let this thing calm down. And I haven't heard officially what it is, but when you hear neck and you're going to be out that long, you probably got a little bit of a herniation of a disc up there or something going on.
And when you've already had something here a few weeks ago.
Yeah, and it kind of arose a little bit after the game on Sunday. And so, yeah, they've got to do whatever they can to let it calm down because now, the downside, the worst thing is that you have to have you have surgery. The Cowboys have had guys do that previously. Off the top of my head, Daryl Johnston had it. And they go in and basically remove the disc and they fuse the 2 vertebrae together. And he
White?
Played another year.
Randy White?
Yeah, I think Randy.
Was it post career?
I think it was post
career
because that's why he's kind of stiff.
Yeah, he can't even look up.
And the scary thing about that is you can do it once, but if you have to do it twice because you put more pressure on the disc below or above, then you're basically stiff-necked the rest of your life.
But they're not to that point.
No, and I'm saying, but it has happened when everybody goes, is it career-threatening? And Chad Hennings had the same fusion surgery at one point, and he came back and played.
He looks good.
He looks real good right now.
Great.
DJ just played 1 more year. And he was basically like,
and DJ played a year with that with
after the surgery.
There's no way.
Yeah,
and of course
you would be done right?
At
fullback. Yeah. So anyway, you got to be careful with this. And
DJ's different because he's a moose.
Exactly.
Yeah, not a wolf. That's what it is, right?
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, it's unfortunate. It's bad timing, especially the team they're going to play and how they play their running backs and how much they throw to them. So, Sean Lee, you're up. Joe Thomas, you're up.
I got no problem with Sean Lee covering backs out of the backfield, and he's shown that before. In fact, this week I was sitting there wondering, as many 3 receiver sets as the Patriots use, I was wondering how much is Sean Lee going to even play in this game?
Right.
That's a good point.
As a Sam linebacker, well, he's going to play a lot now.
Although I saw they may be down Mohamed Sanu.
Yep.
It looks like he hadn't practiced yet this week, and I saw a story that pointed out that no one has played for the Patriots this year if they missed the first 2 days of practice. So I don't know if that's an indication or how bad it is.
That's a break for us because Sanu is extremely
He's good,
talented.
right?
Yes.
And so that means you'll have Edelman. Dorsett got back into practice, and then their third guy will either be Jacoby Myers or N'Keal Harry, who's played just 1 game this year, the rookie Myers has played 9 games this year, so they would have to use one of those 2 guys.
And N'Keal Harry is their first-round draft pick. He's a really talented guy, but as I think any of us would know with Tom Brady, I mean, to get on the same page quickly with Tom Brady, I mean, you've got to have it upstairs, right?
Well, you have to be where you're supposed to be.
Exactly.
Just be where you're supposed to be. I'll get it to you. Don't worry about it. It makes me, I don't know, fills me with a little bit of hope. It's tough coming out and playing with an injury in these conditions that we're expecting up in the East Coast. It's that might be something good for us, not in regards to Van Der Esch or Sean Lee, but their wide receivers being a little bit hobbled or limited in some way. That's when you really put the pressure on. As a defensive back, if I'm going up against Dorsett, I'm not going to back off of him the entire game. I'm going to be in his face the entire game, put pressure on, and the weather itself, inclement weather expected. It's going to be tough for anybody who's injured to be out there, to be even close to 80%.
And, with Dorsett, it's a concussion thing. So sometimes when you've had a concussion, they want you to go out there and do something physical, and they listed him as limited, and then see how you if there's any residual effect of it. So just because he was limited doesn't mean he's cleared concussion protocol. He probably has to do something today to clear, and we've seen that happen before. And I think it was last week or the week before, somebody was in concussion protocol, and they ended up practicing on a limited base, and the next thing they know, they got ruled out. So we'll see where that one goes.
But to Bill's point, they get their running backs involved heavily, not just in the running game, but James White, 48 catches. Burkhead, they're getting him back in the mix a little bit. 18 catches already. So Michelle as well. And so that's part of their short passing game. That's part of their screen game. They're going to try to get a lot of guys involved. They probably had to because you mentioned Everson, some of the injuries they've had at wide receiver.
What about Van Der Esch? I've been watching him this year. The Jets game was kind of seemed like the beginning of a tough season for him. He seemed to get a little exposed, trying to cover some of the running backs and playing pass. All linebackers have been really getting cut off by these offensive linemen that are just in their faces, whether the opposition's running wide or whether they're coming up the middle. You've got big defensive linemen in Smith's face, Van Der Esch, Sean Lee. I haven't seen the Van Der Esch that I was looking forward to this year. I've seen him make way too many mistakes, and it had nothing to do with his ability.
I was like almost guessing which hole to fill and not guessing right or not.
He seems to react
right.
slower than usual. That's why these linemen are getting the uncovered linemen against Minnesota were so fast in their face. They did not have a chance. Now, I don't know if that has anything to do with the defensive lineman not holding them up enough. As I know that's been practiced, when I was here with the Cowboys. But they are jumping out in their faces so much. I saw Smith just trying to run from the cut blocks. The chop blocks were coming at him. And then if it was up the middle, they couldn't get off the blocks. They were 10 yards down the field. So I saw Van Der Esch having the same problems, but I expected more from him because he's the brute. He's that guy. Smith, I keep wanting to call him Achilles Smith. I don't know why. But Smith is known to run. He's born to run. He's a lateral guy. But Van Der Esch has that lateral ability, but I expected him to be that brute up the middle. He was going to replace Sean Lee and be that guy that we could stop the teams, that can stop the teams from coming between the tackles. That's what I thought he was here for, which is what he did last year. This year has not been the case.
Well, and the thing that Sean Lee has done throughout his career is, he dissects that play. He's
Before
so prepared.
They even run it.
Exactly. He can even pre-snap. He has an anticipation of where it's coming, and he can avoid those blocks.
Yes, he does.
And so it's something he has it naturally, and he has it through preparation. And I think Leighton has that same work ethic, but still, it's takes some time in this league.
Sean Lee, was that last week? Just sniffed out the screen before it even happened.
That's right.
Those are the kind of things that
which makes him a faster player.
It does. Well, that's what helped me. If you can anticipate, then you are one step ahead. And I was so slow, so then that even things up. So that helped me.
But no, and I wonder if it affects how the Cowboys play their linebackers in this game because of I don't know how much you want Sean Lee man-to-man on James White and, out in the flat all the time.
And because he was having problems with Rudolph and in the Vikings game.
The Vikings game,
yeah,
right?
Rudolph got 2 good plays on him.
The other thing that occurred to me is, well, maybe you want to play more dime, but now you're down a cornerback without Anthony Brown. And I'm wondering, because I can't remember if one of the coaches said this or maybe Jerry, if you say, well, if I got to play dime, maybe I bring Xavier Woods back into the slot and then put Thompson back at safety.
That's something he did his rookie year.
Right, and that's basically what he played.
As down the stretch, those young corners started playing as rookies. He was their slot corner. So that's interesting. That's in a pinch he can do that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're getting beat underneath, because your slot guy's got to take Edelman. I mean, that's going to be Jordan Lewis, and the next cornerback up is Goodwin, and they haven't really played him at cornerback.
And we should point out Jeff Heath has been a full participant in practice this week.
That helps.
All right, we continue with more Talking Cowboys in just a moment.
Is a proud sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys, helping fans see more and do more with our best vision solutions. Our lens technologies reveal a world more beautiful than you can imagine. For a limited time, get the Essilor Next Gen offer. When you buy the latest generation of Transitions lenses with select Essilor lenses, you can choose a second pair of clear lenses for free with qualifying frame purchases. Restrictions apply. Find a participating eye care professional by visiting EssilorUSA.com. Essilor, see more, do more.
Ready? Okay. Give me an S. S. Give me an O. O. Give me an S. S. Give me an O. O. What's that spell?
So.
Are we gonna win?
Not if we play like we cheer.
Just okay is not okay. Whether it's cheerleaders or your wireless network, AT&T is America's best wireless network. Best network based on GWS 1 score September 2019.
Want to use what the pros use? How about the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black? Right now, you can get the Jack Black Starter, a curated collection of Cowboys locker room favorites for just $10 with free shipping. The starter includes 4 Jack Black skincare favorites, plus a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Go to getjackblack.com/Cowboys and use the code word TEAMJB. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys. The Jack Black Starter, $10, free shipping.
Do you want the most interesting, up-to-the-minute Dallas Cowboys news straight from the Star in Frisco? How about exclusive and on command? That's right, news and nuggets you can't find anywhere else. With our exclusive Cowboys content on Alexa, you can have all the answers, secrets, stories, and more. What's Stephen Jones thinking during a game? What's Joe Looney's favorite pregame meal? We take your questions to Cowboys players and coaches, and you can hear the answers directly back to you. Just say, Alexa, open Dallas Cowboys.
I'm Jay Novacek, former tight end for the Dallas Cowboys. Back in the day, I was the guy who always got the tough yards, and that's why I run with John Deere today. In fact, I have a John Deere 3025E tractor that can handle any yard work I need to do, even the tough yards way out back. So if you have 1 acre or 1,000, John Deere has the equipment that's just right for you. Visit a John Deere dealer today and run with us. We are the official tractor provider of your Dallas Cowboys.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
The Cowboys host the 3rd annual Christmas at the Star presented by Albertsons and Tom Thumb from Friday through December 21st, taking place at the Star in Frisco. Enjoy free, family-friendly events throughout the holiday season, including the Christmas Spectacular presented by Albertsons and Tom Thumb, and the opportunity to take a photo with Santa Claus. For more information, visit thestarinfrisco.com. And so that starts today. This is Friday. And
thank God.
Yes, thank God it's Friday. And, wow, what a great football weekend this is, too. In the NFL, there's a lot of games and matching up winning teams against winning teams, including the 3:25 kickoff on Sunday, the Cowboys and the Patriots. All right, Mickey, I want to ask you, you're talking about the possibility of maybe using more dime. So in the dime defense, Sean Lee would come off the field. What do you anticipate them going to more than anything?
Yeah, I still think they'll probably play they'll have to play a lot of nickel for sure. And maybe when you get into pure passing situations, you go to dime, bring Xavier Woods down from safety, put him in the slot. You got Jordan Lewis in the other slot, and you play one linebacker. And I don't know if that one linebacker is consistently Jalen Smith or it could be Sean Lee, since he runs things so much. This is going to be, I think, a very cerebral game.
It is.
On both sides of the ball.
Yep. Because as you talk about the person, and by the way, I didn't know you and Jerry discussed the game plan every week. That's what it
sounds like, right?
The game plan. Jerry's in the huddle, and you're listening to him.
Yes.
That's the main thing, Spag. You're actually writing that down. The cerebral part of it I can see is when you start talking about personnel. It's going to be some Aaron Rodgers crap going on out there. They're going to try and catch us with the wrong personnel many times. Go huddle real quick.
Right.
Brady started that before Aaron Rodgers. So that's going to be part of that chess match that we're going to be seeing throughout the entire game.
And the other flip side of it, on the other side of the ball, how do the Patriots attack the Cowboys offense? We talked about that a little bit today. They've proven here to be kind of a pick your poison offense, but does Belichick try to do what these other teams have done and shut down the run, and with so much confidence in his secondary to handle up on the back end?
I can see Dak doing a lot. I mean, he always does a lot of audibling. I can see even more. You might audible your way out of a good play.
Yeah.
They may determine you to do that just by the look, just maybe trying to confuse you. That would be a worst case scenario, is audibling too much, and therefore you can't control the pace of the game, like the Saints game, where the crowd was into it. It won't be as bad, but as far as the confusion aspect of it, that could be something that they have to deal with, offensively especially.
Maybe the rain will quiet the people down. It's no fun to sit and watch through.
Not in New England. I've been there, trust me.
But you're right, and because you got to figure out what all those linebackers are doing, right? And I had it put to me that it's more of an annoyance than anything else.
Yes.
Like you got to try to figure out what's
and that's
going
to be the
right?
problem.
That might
that's
slow
going to be
you
the
down.
problem. Yes, it will. So that's what I mean about the pace itself. Dak won't be able to control that if he's still trying to figure out what they're trying to do. So I would imagine that if I'm an offensive coordinator, look, once you make a call, let's just go with it.
Go with it.
Let's just go with it, and then you still read your keys, and you still make a safe play. There's always, no matter what the play is, there's an outlet somewhere. You just have to find it. And, that outlet has to be available. So if the Cowboys can just all be on one page with that, I hope they did. I hope they were here at the Star with a bunch of noise and all that, because it's going to be prevalent that they understand and to stay poised throughout the entire game.
Because normally the center can help you with some of the calls, but the way they move their linebackers around outside, I don't know if the center can see all of that stuff, right?
He and Dak have to work together on that.
Yeah.
And the other lineman can help as well.
And I think, if he said it once yesterday, he said it 10 times when Kellen Moore did his interview before the locker room opened up, and he kept using the word communication.
Mm-hmm.
He said, we got to communicate. We have to have great communication. And that's because I'll guarantee you, Philadelphia, they were off. They couldn't figure out who was coming, who was dropping. 5 sacks, I think it was.
And that was after Lane Johnson went out. They lost their right tackle.
Well, they lost Peters, too,
Lane Johnson,
too.
That was later in the game, but things were going fine for them protecting the quarterback, and then they lost Lane Johnson, and it was like a rapid-fire 5 sacks.
He was coming at it.
And that's the other thing the Patriots do. They see a weakness, and they'll expose it very quickly. I suggest you go on DallasCowboys.com and check out the film room with Will McClay. He breaks down this Patriots defense, and then specifically shows 3 plays how they use Jamie Collins. And on one of the plays, Jamie Collins is setting the edge as a defensive end. The next play he shows, he's lined up as an inside backer. And then he also shows him running a stunt inside, getting to the quarterback. Jamie Collins is a guy who has 6 sacks on the season. He's got 3 picks. He's got 7 tackles for loss. It's
that's
pretty
versatility right there. Yeah,
it's pretty amazing. Of course, he started his career with the Patriots, went away, and then he was at Cleveland and comes back to the Patriots, and they're using him like they always
I gotta
wanted
say,
to.
I just have one more thought going back to the pace of the game. The Cowboys are going to have to go quick snap a lot.
You see, there's the same thing. And Nathan Newton always says, same thing, make you laugh, make you cry.
Right.
If you're a big guy, then you're gonna bully somebody. But if you're too big, then somebody's gonna run around you. So there's always a disadvantage that you put yourself in when you disguise, and if we can catch them in while they're disguising and go with the quick snap every once in a while, especially in key situations, then that way we can at times put the pace of the team of the game in our favor.
Maybe go hurry up a little
Hurry
bit.
up would be great.
Right?
Hurry up would be great.
Because it's not like you got to take care of one guy when it comes to sacks for them. Collins has 6. Van Noy has 5.5. Adam Butler has
out
5.5.
of Duncanville, Texas. He's an inside guy, 300-pounder, and he's got 5.5 sacks rushing from the inside.
And Chase Winovich has 4.5
He's a
sacks.
rookie.
And then they've got a bunch of guys with 3. So
Texas.
they're coming from all over.
Hightower, Danny Shelton has 3 sacks.
So their linebackers
340
lead
pounds.
them in sacks, and that shows you how they're playing them as like stand-up defensive ends.
Well, once again, Michael Bennett is going to factor into this game for the Cowboys defense being inside rusher, maybe outside rusher as well. He's here because of those guys. They kind of changed what they did midseason. That's so Belichick, you know. They went more linebacker heavy, and he didn't get on the field as much.
The question was going to come up, like, wow, someone had to be a casualty, and I didn't even think of it, that Bennett was that obvious casualty.
He was the casualty, and then he complained and became a big casualty.
Yeah, well,
And
he did get suspended before the trade, but I think more than anything, they just didn't find enough snaps for him.
Well,
he found a way to get out.
He found some snaps here.
That's good.
That's right. 3 sacks.
How prevalent do you think he will be in the game itself? I mean, this guy, he knows their system.
Yeah.
And he's good. It's not like he's not any good. Some guy that's over the hill just trying to.
And he can tell them because, when I asked him, and I think I said it earlier, about why this thing works, and he was saying that Van Noy, the most athletic guy he ever played with.
Wow.
And that Hightower, and then Collins
was the smartest.
Was the smartest,
yeah.
And then Hightower can do everything. And so that's why they can kind of screw around back there and change things up because these guys know how to do it. That's what they're doing.
They're screwing around.
They're screwing around back there with the linebackers.
Does Belichick know they're screwing around?
Yes.
He doesn't seem like he'd be the type to put up with it.
I mean, think about when you go watch football practice. The middle linebackers here, the strong side linebackers on the line of scrimmage, the weak side linebackers over here off the line.
I think
they're all in the same spot.
I think it's more organized chaos.
There you go.
Than playing grab butt.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I didn't
There's a
mean
reason
that.
they're 9-1.
I guarantee you, if you're the quarterback, you probably think they're screwing around back there. Oh, let me go stand over here for a while.
Okay, we're going to screw around some more here on Talking Cowboys here in just a moment.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
Talking Cowboys continues inside the SWBC Mortgage Studios. We're happy you could join us not only on DallasCowboys.com, wherever you listen to or watch the show on a daily basis, 11 o'clock every weekday morning. And by the way, next week will be Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Of course, Thanksgiving coming up on Thursday, and also on Texas 21. We appreciate you joining us here. And let's talk about Cowboys and Patriots a little bit. And what kind of atmosphere do you expect in Sunday's game as far as Cowboys fans at the game on Sunday? Myself, when I saw the schedule, I went immediately, knowing that the Cowboys are playing New England this year, I immediately said, where's that New England game? Mm-hmm. If I was a fan and wanted to travel to a game, this is the game that I would have gone to.
That is
But I don't
not
have
the
enough money
game
to
I
do
would
that.
pick. I would not pick this game. I told you I wanted to be a basketball player because I hated the weather.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not going to watch that game. If I'm not, no,
It's a little too late in the
definitely pick
year
another game
for Cubby.
Yeah.
But
championship. That's
those
what it
tickets
is.
aren't available, I bet. You know, the Patriot fans, I don't know how they act, but are they selling their tickets so they can make money? Because that's what happens here, right? When you see all these away.
Okay, well,
and
then
that's what
let me
happened
put it this
last-
way
That
then.
would be if it was just a regular game, but it's the
This is
Cowboys
too big,
coming to
right?
town.
Well, that's what I was about to say.
It's
Okay.
the Cowboys coming to town.
Okay, we're pumped because they're playing the Patriots. Okay, how much are the Patriots pumped that the Cowboys are coming to
No,
town?
they're very pumped.
very.
They're
I'll
very
guarantee
pumped.
you
It's
they
not
are.
just about where they are statistically, the fact that they lost a game that they probably thought they shouldn't have lost. I'm talking about the Patriots, but it's also it's just a matter of pride. They want to be, and they consider themselves, because of the championships, America's team. Let's just be real. They are. They said, well, Kraft and Jerry Jones, they got this crap going on. I think it had something to do with Deflategate, and then all of a sudden here comes Zeke Elliott. He's suspended. They said Kraft might have been in there, shaking his finger at the commissioner, like, you better get him because you got my guy. So I think it's a personal game, just like the Falcons game 2 years ago. I believe it was when Blank and Jerry Jones were having their little. I don't want to call it a P-fit, but yeah.
But the other part of it is a few times that the Cowboys play the Patriots. I mean, this only happens once every 4 years, and for the Cowboys to go there, it's been 8 years since they played there.
And no matter what you think, when that star shows up, people want to be there to see it.
Oh, yeah.
Because they want to cheer against them.
There's been one time this year on the road so far where it didn't seem like almost a dominant Cowboys presence, and that was New Orleans. I think that, a lot of Saints fans, they didn't sell their tickets, but I mean, it felt like a home game last week in Detroit, and I'm sure there's going to be a fair representation Sunday.
Well, and then, so now you take the primary players for the Cowboys. I mean, you take the Zeke Elliott's, you take the Dak Prescott's. We saw in their rookie year where they go on the road at Green Bay, at Pittsburgh. That stage was not too big for them. They've played on the highest level in college football. Don't you know how much they relish this opportunity to go play the Patriots at their place?
We've seen so much crap since then that we've forgotten just how grown up Zeke and Dak acted their rookie year. I mean, that was domination. They went into Pittsburgh. I talk about that game a lot. You're one of the few people out here bring that up about not just how well Dak and Zeke played, but how that team was so together at that time. I had no doubt that they would win that game in Pittsburgh. There was no doubt. And the way they won it was so convincing. They out-Steelered the Steelers. And I'm looking forward to them getting back to that again. Those games, that's the ones that gives me hope and positivity about them getting back on track again, because that's pretty much we have a better team now. We have a better team now. No Dez, but we have three heck of a receivers now that we did not have at that time.
Oh, yeah. Amari's feeling better this week. He said that yesterday. He's been a full participant in practice. And I think, Mick, somebody asked him about Michael Gallup as a number 2 receiver, Everson, and he goes, I don't think he liked the question because he said, this guy's a number 1 too.
Wow.
And he's playing like it.
He really is.
And second year in the league, he's really growing up as a potentially elite receiver in this league week to week.
And sort of an example for you said about the excitement, the average ticket price for this game, $719.
Is it really?
Average. And I saw one site that it was as much as they were selling tickets on the secondary market for $2,200. I don't know where that was.
Let me have that site. What was that?
Yeah,
site?
right. For that much money, I better have a roof over my head, right? It better be a suite right next to me, right?
Now you talk about Gallup and number 2 receiver versus number 1. Cowboys had more drops than anybody early on this season. I don't know if that's still the case, but I promise you, Gallup has not been dropping any more passes. And
after that one game?
After that game. Well, it was really a couple of games where he had.
It was most noticeable in the Jets game, though, because they were missing Cobb and Cooper that game.
And now
and they lost
the last game, the way he stepped up, he knew Cooper was going to be hurt. at least hobbled a bit, and he stepped up, and Dak challenged him. The Kellen Moore challenged him, and he came through. That was a good game for him.
No drops, no turnovers.
Over 100 yards.
Start that right now.
Mm-hmm.
You want a key.
If there was ever a game to play a clean game, it's got to be this one. No question.
Yeah, those DBs are going to be after. Those cornerbacks are going to be in their faces, guys. I promise you, this is not just going to be a cerebral game from the coach's standpoint and their quarterbacks, but it's just going to be an all-out just gut check. This is one of those games. Every once in a while when I played, I try to be cute out there. I like to get a little back pedal going and, get smooth and get loose. But there are some games when you're playing against the Redskins, playing against a guy like Art Monk, you just got to get in his face. It's just me and you, just the whole game. I don't have anything to say to you, don't have anything to say to me. We're going to speak with our play. And this is going to be one of those games, whatever your style is, you trash talk, if you're quiet, if you're cerebral, whatever. But this is going to be a game that's going to be a gut check for the specialty players as well.
Got 1 minute left in this segment, so I hesitate to bring this up because we don't have enough time. But we can carry it over to our final segment here.
I'll be short.
How important? How important?
You are
is,
short.
How important is this game for the Cowboys? I mean, obviously from a season standpoint, but even just
more than
telling
tangible.
Telling themselves what they are.
It's a barrier. It's a thermometer right now. We're going to see where we are. We have to see where we are right now as a team. I think we can still lose the game and still be in good shape.
Feel good
in the
about
NFC
yourself.
East. Yeah. Depends on how you lose that game.
Mm-hmm.
And so the numbers themselves, for wins and losses, that wouldn't matter this week. We could still have to win out or maybe one more loss after this. But this game will not ruin our playoff chances.
I think it's more. It'll be as much of a confidence thing as it is something in the standings, right? Because even if you play really well and lose, at least you'll feel good about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go down there and flop around, it's like, God, every time.
We haven't gotten any better.
Yeah, every time we play one of these good teams, this is what we do.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing, it seems like for any team, but especially since we follow the Cowboys, in the seasons where they go to the playoffs, they have a stretch of the season where they get on a roll and they accumulate a number of wins in a row. They're playing very well to get there, and obviously it's trite, but you got to continue to improve as the season goes along. And why not against the best in the league?
And they did that last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they did that last year.
I can remember Tom talking about Landry talking about that all the time. You wanted to streak into the playoffs. You didn't want to limp in.
Yes.
You wanted to streak into the playoffs.
True.
It's time to streak.
Streaking time. Did you streak, Bill, in college?
We won't get into that. As we come back here on Talkin Cowboys, it's our picks to click in New England.
Oh, man.
Since 1865, Stetson hats are American-made with pride right here in Texas. And Stetson is proud to be on the field with America's team. Want to show your Texas and team pride too? You can. By purchasing your own Stetson, you can look just like how the flag guys do on field at every home game. Stetson hats, the official crown of all self-respecting Cowboys and your favorite football team. Get yours today in the Stadium Pro Shop or at Stetson.com.
Ready? Okay. Give me an S. S. Give me an O. O. Give me an S. S. Give me an O. O. What's that spell?
So.
Are we gonna win?
Not if we play like we cheer.
Just okay is not okay. Whether it's cheerleaders or your wireless network, AT&T is America's best wireless network. Best network based on GWS 1 score September 2019.
Essilor is a proud sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys, helping fans see more and do more with our best vision solutions. Our lens technologies reveal a world more beautiful than you can imagine. For a limited time, get the Essilor Next Gen offer. When you buy the latest generation of Transitions lenses with select Essilor lenses, you can choose a second pair of clear lenses for free with qualifying frame purchases. Restrictions apply. Find a participating eye care professional by visiting EssilorUSA.com. Essilor. See more, do more.
So, you're shopping, and that's when you see it. Aisle 23. Dr. Pepper stacked from top to bottom as far as the eye can see. The phrase too good to be true comes to mind, yet there it is. A rich, delicious Dr. Pepper paradise. Wait, did that can of Dr. Pepper just open itself for you? They all are. As if to say, so nice to treat you. And even though it feels weird to talk to a can, you pick one up and say, it's so nice to be treated. Dr. Pepper, so nice to treat you.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
Would you believe when I was at the health club this morning, there was a guy with some Jack Black product.
Oh, God.
How about that?
What, on the elliptical machine, he had his Jack Black out?
I think it was in the locker room,
Okay.
Bill.
All right.
And Jack Black's got a pre-Black Friday sale going on right now. If you go to the website, they have what's called Jack's Famous 5. And they have a little wheel up there, and you hit the button, and it'll spin and tell you what you get for free if you purchase $65 or more. So you get Jack's Famous 5. I ordered it, by the way. My own money, okay? And then they threw in 3 free products: Protein Booster Skin Serum, Turbo Wash, and All Over Wash for face, hair, and body. For free and free shipping. Go to getjackblack.com.
All right, very good.
I use hot water.
Hot water.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm a hot water guy.
All right, Everson asked me, this week I've been wearing this cap. It's not for Team Jack Black, but it is Team Jack, okay? And this is for the Team Jack Foundation. And as you all know, one of my favorite players in the league happens to be a New England Patriot.
That's
that would
right.
be Rex Burkhead. And Rex became friends when he was at the University of Nebraska with Jack Hoffman. Jack Hoffman had brain cancer. The Team Jack Foundation funds research for pediatric brain cancer research, and they've raised all sorts of money. It was the ESPN Play of the Year when at the Nebraska spring game they handed the football to Jack. This is now going back 6 or 7 years ago, and he ran for a touchdown in front of 75,000 people at their spring game at Nebraska, whatever. And anyway, they visited the White House. I mean, they became fast friends. Rex does a charity event for Jack, who's now, I guess he's probably a teenager by now. And so anyway, this week I decided I'm going to wear my Team Jack hat to support the Team Jack Foundation since we're playing the Patriots.
Very good, Bill.
That's good stuff,
good.
man.
So
you
you
missed
go.
us giving Burkhead a lot of love yesterday.
Yeah, I heard
Gave
you.
him a lot of love.
Yeah. I'm glad y'all did because I would have gone on and on. We wouldn't have enough time.
If it was up to Bill, he'd still be playing with the Cowboys.
But this is not Rex's week. This is the Cowboys week, right? As we make our picks. Yes. Who wants to go first? Our pick to click and our pick for the game.
All right, I'm
Everson's
going
first.
I'm going to go first. And I know this is wishful thinking, but I am looking forward to – can I just put my cornerback duo in as one pick?
Yeah,
I think our
you can do whatever you want to with
I think
your
our
pick to click.
cornerbacks are going to do well. I look for one of them to get an interception. It's just shut me up for once this year about talking about how they can't play. I look for the Cowboys to win. I really do. I pick the Cowboys to win every week. So, whenever you ask me this at the end of the week, I'm going to say Cowboys in that regard. So, cornerbacks and Cowboys.
That's good. That's good.
Which is the cornerback that has the best chance to get a pick?
I wanted to say Byron Jones because this guy's so athletic, but when you make a Pro Bowl with no picks, no motivation for him.
Any picks,
no motivation for him. But I think Awuzie will finally turn around and look for the ball.
All right.
There it is. There it is.
To honor number 24.
I'm going to go stick with defense and go with Sean Lee. I know we talked about him earlier. We know now exactly he's got to have a big role in this game. The 2 games where Van Der Esch was limited or inactive against Philly and New York, Sean had, I think, 23 tackles and was all over the field. And given this matchup, he's got to show up big in this game too. So got my eye on number 50 this week.
Good choice.
I will take.
Did you have a pick? Did you pick the game?
Did I pick the game?
Yeah.
Wow, this is tough. I've been leaning towards.
You tried not to, Bill. You had to circle.
I'll go with Dallas because I think every time we think they can't win a game, or it's Philly before the bye, or the Saints last year, they get like a signature win. I'll take the Cowboys.
Okay.
You have a score?
Whatever Mickey picks is fine.
Whatever I pick is fine. I will take number 21, Ezekiel Elliott.
I almost took him.
He is going to get past that line of scrimmage because they don't have very big defensive linemen playing. And once he gets in the open field, you're going to see the guy from Ohio State. I will pick the Cowboys to win 23-20.
23-20 Cowboys.
Sounds good.
And I'm going with Michael Bennett as my pick to click this week. He's going to get in the face of one Tom Brady as we are about out of time here on Talking Cowboys. And we will talk at you again next week. Oh, I forgot to make my pick. Oh, we ran out of time here on Talking Cowboys. Sorry.